Hey guys, and welcome to Complex Motion Graphics series part 1, and in this video we are going to create this looping animation inside of After Effects without using any third-party plugin. And if you want to learn more about motion graphics and other stuff, then don't forget to check out my Udemy courses. Links are available in the description. And if you're new to this channel, then please consider to subscribe this channel and also hit the bell icon to get more updates. So without wasting any much more time, let's get started. Okay, so here we are in Adobe After Effects. Let's create a new composition and we are going to call it as main animation. Width is 1920, height is 180, frame rate is 30 and duration is 30 seconds long, and background color is white color, and simply hit OK. Then we will choose grid and guide option and we will simply hit on title selection. Then I'm going to press Ctrl N again to create another composition, and this time I'm going to call it as character. And width of this I'm going to choose 1080 and height also 1080, and I'm going to simply hit OK. Then I'll go to choose grid and guide option and make sure that title selection is on. Then we need to create our character, so for that I'm going to choose my ellipse tool, and this time I don't want any stroke, so I'll delete the stroke. And for the fill I'm going to choose this bluish color. Somewhere you can choose whatever color you want. I'm going to select this color, and by holding shift I'm going to create one ellipse. Then select this ellipse and press Ctrl Alt Home to align that anchor point to the center. Go to the Align tab, align it horizontally and then align it vertically. Now press Ctrl K again, and let's enable this lock aspect ratio, and we will choose height up to 720. Okay, then select this, press S, and let's scale this up like that. Press Ctrl K again and make sure that height is 720 over here. Okay, we will increase that height, but first we will create our character. So this is going to be the face, so I'll hit enter and I'll call it as face. Then hit Ctrl D, hit enter, and let's call it as eye, and let's change the color of this one to white. Press S and let's scale this size somewhere around over here, and let's bring this portion over here. Let's adjust the size of this eye somewhere around like this. Okay, then select this, hit Ctrl D, we will call it as eye2, and we will make it apparent with the second layer. We will select this, press S, and let's decrease the scale, and let's change the color of this one to somewhere around like brown color like this. This looks good. Then select this, hit Ctrl D, press S, let's decrease the scale a little bit, and this time let's change the color of this one to complete black. Then select this, hit Ctrl D, change the color of this one to white. Then press S again and let's scale the size, and let's try to adjust it over here. So if you see, we are getting this kind of eye structure. Then I'm going to select all of them and I'll hit Ctrl D and I'm going to bring them at the top. Then I'm going to select this layer and let's try to bring this over here. So this is going to be my eye. So those who are main structure like this white background, let's change the color of them to yellow. So it would be easy for us to understand that they are the one in which all of them are parented with. Okay, like that. Then I need a small nose kind of structure over here. So for that I'm going to select my ellipse, and by holding shift I'm going to create one ellipse. I'll press Ctrl Alt Home and I'm going to change the color of this one to red. Let's select this, Align tab, align it horizontally, align it vertically. Let's select this and let's try to bring this somewhere around over here. Okay, along with that you can adjust this too like this. If you want, then you can change the color of this one as well. Then let's hit enter and let's call it as nose. Okay, hit Ctrl D, press S, let's decrease the scale and change the color of this one to white, and let's try to bring this somewhere around over here, and let's scale this size. Press Ctrl Alt Home and try to adjust it over here like that. Okay, so we are gonna get this kind of structure over here. You can decrease the scale according to your needs, or you can delete this as well. It looks quite weird. Okay, so this is going to be our shape. And then if you want, then you can create one smile icon. So for that, let's select this nose and hit Ctrl D, and let's try to bring this at the bottom. Press S for scaling option and scale it somewhere around like this and bring this over here. Then delete this fill, we don't need that. And for the stroke, I'm going to choose somewhere around white color for the stroke. And yeah, and let's select this and press Ctrl Alt Home and press V and try to bring this over here. Now we will go to the add menu and we are going to choose trim path. Let's go to the trim path and let's make this end value 50 and make this offset around 90. So we will get something like this. Then we will go to the ellipse, then we will go to the stroke and we will choose round cap. Then you can go to the taper as well and you can increase the start length to around 40 and end length as well 40. So we are gonna get this kind of structure over here. Okay, hit enter and let's call it as mouth. Okay, and if you want then you can change the color of this one to somewhere around different, like this one looks good to me. Okay, so this is going to be our character, and if you want then you can select this face and you can change the color of this, or instead of this you can go to the fill, you can choose linear gradient like that and hit OK. And let's bring this point over here and let's bring this point over here and bring this point over here. Then I'm gonna go in color options and instead of this red I'm going to pick up this blue color, and instead of this I'm going to pick up somewhere around like this, and let's see, we are getting something like that. And let's change this point over here and let's change this point over here like that. Okay, or we need to swap this color, that is also the better option. Okay, so over here I'm going to pick up somewhere around like this, and over here I'm going to pick up something like this color. Okay, so this looks a little bit good. Yeah, also if they see this eyes over here, instead of this brown, if you want you can choose dark blue color as well, or somewhere around like this. I think this looks good, so let's hit Ctrl C to copy that color code and apply that color code over here as well. Okay, so you will get this kind of character. And for this nose over here I'm gonna right click and I'll go to the layer styles and I'm going to choose bevel emboss, and then go to the bevel and emboss, and let's increase the size of it somewhere around like this. And instead of this shadow color right now it's black, I'm going to choose somewhere around bluish or somewhere around like this. And if you want then you can decrease the highlight of this one as well. So as you guys can see, our entire character is ready, and now all you need to do is to animate it. But before we animate all of that, we have to make sure that each and everyone is parent with proper layers. So let's select this nose as well as this mouth. It should parent with this face because this face is going to control the entire motion of this animation. Similarly, select this eye, and we have to make sure that this face is parent with these eyes are parent with this face. Then we will press Ctrl key over here and we will disable this lock aspect ratio, and we will make this height 1080. Okay, like that. So then select this face and we will bring this downwards like that. Okay, we'll bring this somewhere around over here. Now let's go to the main animation and we'll bring our character layer over here and press S for scaling option, and let's scale it somewhere around like this. Okay, and let's try to bring this over here like that, and hit Ctrl D and let's bring this over here. Hit Ctrl D and let's bring this over here. Hit Ctrl D and let's try to bring this over here. So we have 4 equal layers over here, and now we will try to create our main animation. So let's try to do that. First of all, let's bring them all downward like that. Okay, this looks good to me. Yeah, now we need to create one bouncing ball. So let's select this character over here and we will hit Ctrl D to duplicate it. Double click to open this, and this time I am going to select this face and I'll bring this at the center. Then I'm going to press Ctrl K. I'm going to make this 720 again, this composition like that, or you can hit Ctrl K again. You can go to the lock aspect ratio enable, and let's decrease the size until this is going to get covered by entire composition. Okay, like that. So then we'll go to the main animation and we'll bring our character 2 over here, and let's press S for scaling option and let's scale it somewhere around like this, and let's change the color of this one to yellow. Now we will try to make our animation. So let's first move this over here and then press P for position. We will select this, right click, and we will choose separate dimensions. Then we will create one keyframe at X. Then we'll go somewhere around 6 seconds. Proper 6 seconds over here we need to go. Okay. And we will press N over here. And we will change the X position from here to here. Like that. Then I'll go to the start and I'll create one keyframe at Y. Then somewhere around at this point, I'm gonna bring this portion over here like that. Then go somewhere around over here at this point. Let's create one keyframe at Y. Then go somewhere around at this point. I'm going to create one keyframe at Y. Then somewhere around at this point, I'm going to create one keyframe at Y. Then at this point, I'm going to create one keyframe at Y. And if you want, then you can adjust it a little bit according to your proper needs, like that. Okay. And now in this between, this should get bounced back. So select this and let's change this to upward somewhere around like this. And you can copy this keyframe. So hit Ctrl C, go over here, hit Ctrl V, hit Ctrl V, and hit Ctrl V. Similarly, at this point, you can hit Ctrl V, and at this point, you can copy this keyframe, which is this one at this point. So hit Ctrl C, go to the start and hit Ctrl V. So it will look something like this. Okay. Then we will select those keyframe and we will hit F9. And now, as I said, that we need bouncing animation over here. So for that, what we can do, we can go to the graph editor. First of all, zoom in and right click and make sure that you are in edit speed graph. Now obviously when it's gonna get up, it should go a little bit faster. So I'll select this portion by holding shift. I'll move this handle over here and I'll move this handle over here. So it will go something like that. And when it gonna come downwards, it should start a little bit low, and then it should go faster. So let's select this and shift hold, move this handle over here and move this handle over here. Okay, like that. Then again at this point, let's move this portion over here. Select this, shift hold, move this handle over here and select this and move this handle over here. Select this, move this handle over here. Select this and move this handle over here. Then select this, move this handle over here. This over here. So basically you need to adjust this graph like this, that over here the part should look like this only. Okay, so let's again move this. Okay. So now if you see this animation, if I play, I'll get this kind of bouncing ball animation over here, like that. Okay. And this gonna be continuously in the form of loop. Now I'll go to the start. I'll select this. I'll press R for rotation. I'll create one keyframe. I'll hit U. I'll go to 6 seconds and I'm going to make it 3 complete rotation. So if you see, we will get something like this. If you want, you can make it 6 as well. It's totally up to you that how much amount you want. Okay, it's totally up to you. Now this animation is done, but we need this animation should go up and down. So for that, what we can do, first of all, we will do a normal animation of jumping. Okay, so for that, I'm going to select this face. I'll press P for position. I'll create one keyframe. I'll go to somewhere around, let's say 20 seconds. I'm gonna make this upward like this. Then I'll go to around 10 seconds. Select first keyframe, Ctrl C, Ctrl V. So if we'll get something like this. Then go to around somewhere over here, create another keyframe, and in middle of that, it will go a little bit upward again, like this. So let's select those keyframe. We'll hit F9. We'll go to the graph editor, select this graph, shift hold, move this handle over here, this handle over here, this handle over here, select this and move this handle over here. Then select this, move this handle over here, this handle over here, this handle over here, and move this handle over here and this handle over here. Okay, so if you see this now, we will get this kind of bouncing animation. Okay, if you want, then you can select this, and by holding alt you will move this over here, and by holding alt let's bring this over here. So we will get something like this. Okay, now along with this there should be the eye animation for them as well. So for that, what we can do, let's select this eye and this eye, press P for position, create one keyframe, go over here and let's bring this upward like that. Then at this point we will copy the first keyframe, Ctrl C, Ctrl V, Ctrl C, Ctrl V, and select those keyframe, and we will hit F9. So if you see, we will get something like this. Okay, over here. Now along with that, those pupils should also go up. So let's select those, press P, create one keyframe, go over here. It should go a little bit upward like that. And at this point, Ctrl C, Ctrl V, Ctrl C, Ctrl V, select those keyframe, hit F9. Okay, like that. So similarly, these two portions as well, by holding Ctrl, press P, create one keyframe, go over here, and let's bring them upward like that, like they are looking up or something. Then as it goes, select this, Ctrl C, Ctrl V, first keyframes, and select all those keyframe and hit F9. So if you see, we'll get something like that. So along with that, this nose should also get up, and this smile as well. So select this both layers, press P, create one keyframe, go over here, create another keyframe, and in middle of that we will select this two, and let's bring those portions over here. Similarly, select this mouth and little bit and move this over here, select those keyframe and hit F9. So we will get something like that. And if you want, then you can select those keyframe, and by holding each and every one you can move them a little bit upward, so you will get that secondary action as well. Or it's okay if it's over here. Now if you see this properly, if this keyframes has this kind of graph, so this keyframe should also consist that kind of graph over here. So I'm going to select all of those keyframe, select this, shift hold, move this handle over here and move this handle over here, select this, move this handle over here, select this and move this handle over here, like this. Okay, we'll get something like that. Okay, and hit U, and let's take a little bit gap over here, and now we need animation for this each and every portion. So how we can do that? Let's try to see. First of all, we need this, and after this point I'm going to select this face and I'll create one keyframe at position, then I'll go somewhere around 10 frames forward and create another keyframe, and in middle of that I'm simply going to bring this a little bit downward like that, then select those keyframe and hit F9. So we'll get something like this. Now what is going to get happen at this point, when it goes a little bit downward, basically this ball will shift the way it looks. Okay, so for that what we need to do, we will select these two eyes as well as all of this eyes portion. By holding Control, select them and create one keyframe at position, go somewhere around at last position, and let's try to bring this portion over here, and make sure to select F9, hit F9 over there. Okay, like that. Okay, now along with that, what is gonna get moved, let's select these portions. It should move over here, then this, it should move over here, then this, it should move over here. Similarly, this one as well, let's move this over here, this over here, and this portion should move over here like that. Okay, similarly this nose, create one keyframe at position of each and every one. Let's select this mouth and let's bring this over here, then select this portion somewhere around over here, so it will look like it's moving over there, and select those keyframe and hit F9. Okay, like that. If you see this now, we'll get something like that. First we will get this like that. Okay, then after that what we need to do over here is that we need to select those keyframe and hit Ctrl C Ctrl V after a few points over here, somewhere around over here. Then what will happen at this point, all of them, this eyes, create one position keyframe on each and every one. Then at this point this eye should move from here to here like that. Okay, similarly this pupils should move from here to here. Then this 2 and this 2 as well should move from here to here. Then this eye portion should also move from here to here. Similarly, this portion should also move from here to here, like this portion. Okay, then we will select this nose. We will create one keyframe at position, go over here. Let's move this from here to here. Similarly, this mouth, create one keyframe at position and let's move this from here to here. Okay, and make sure to select all of them and hit F9. So again we will get something like that. And if you check out this portion over here, this animation is in the form of loop at 6 seconds. So that's why our character animation should also end at 6 seconds. So I'm gonna go at 5 frames. I'm going to create each and every one keyframe on each and every layer, even face and etc. Then I'll go to somewhere around 20 frames. And what we are going to do over here is that we will copy the first keyframe on each and every layer. So Ctrl C, Ctrl V, each and every layer, first keyframe, Ctrl C, Ctrl V. So what will happen? That they will come at their initial position like that. And at 6 seconds, I'm going to hit N over here. Okay. And I'll right click and I'll choose trim comp to work area. So if you see this now, we will get this animation, then we will get this as well as this animation, and then we will get this animation again. Now let's go to the main animation comp, and now let's try to see. Now we know that each and every one is gonna start to bounce at 1 second from the start, so we will try to adjust it accordingly. So I know that this character hit you. At this point, it's gonna get bounced. So I'll select this first character layer and I'm going to bring this over here. Okay. So now it will look like that it's bouncing like that. Then at this point over here, I'm going to select this character and I'll bring this over here with the help of open square bracket. Then at this point, I'm going to select my third layer and with the help of open square bracket, I'll bring this over here. Then at this point, I'm going to select my last layer and I'll bring this over here. Okay. Like that. So we will get something like this. Okay. Over here. But if you're now gonna see that there is no animation at the start. So what we are going to do, I'm going to select this character. I'll hit Ctrl D. I'm going to bring this at the bottom and I'm going to adjust it like this. Okay. Like that. So now if I hide all of these layers and if I only focus on this one, and let's see whether it is in the form of loop or not. If you see this now, this character animation is in the form of loop. And this same method we are going to follow for all of these layers. So I'll select this layer over here. I'll hit Ctrl D and I'm going to bring this over here and I will adjust it from the end. Same procedure for this layer. Hit Ctrl D. Let's enable this too. Try to adjust it from this end. Then we have this one for last. Hit Ctrl D, select this and try to adjust this over here. And now if I see this animation, I'm gonna get this animation continuously in the form of loop. Okay, so this is for this. And now another thing you can do over here, if you go to the character menu, now let's hit U and let's go to the start. Now we know that each and everyone has the animation, but over here there is no blinking animation. So for that, what we can do, I can select this eye layer over here. I can press S, I can unlink this, and if I scale it like that, I can get that blink animation. Okay, but if you see properly, they are all getting blinked. So instead of that, what I can do, I can hit Ctrl D and I can bring them layers at the top, and let's change the parenting just for now, or not end the parenting, but we will keep that. And over here I'm going to change the color of this one to somewhere around. With the help of this picker, you can pick up this color over here and hit OK, like that. Okay, like those stuff. So we'll get something like that. And now over here I'm going to select this. I'll go to the effect and presets panel and I'll search for linear wipe effect and double click to apply. So if you see over here, we are getting this transition. Okay, but we don't want this kind of transition. So for that, what we can do, first of all, let's enable this layer only so we can focus on that. Okay, and right now we are getting this kind of transitions over here. So if you see, the transition is between 100 to 0, like that. Okay, we don't want that, so let's make this, delete those keyframe first of all. Okay, let's delete those keyframe and let's make this value somewhere around 75, and let's create one keyframe, go somewhere. As it goes further around 10 seconds, I'm going to increase this value, decrease this value somewhere around 52. At 52 it's completing this animation. At 20 I'll copy the first keyframe, so hit Ctrl C, Ctrl V. So if you see, we are getting this kind of blinking animation. So select those keyframe and hit F9. And now we have to change the rotation of it. So let's change the wide angle to somewhere around like this. So let's make this 0 and let's see how does it animation looks. It looks something like this. Okay. And now we will select this linear wipe effect. I'll hit Ctrl C, or before that, first of all, we'll complete this animation, then we will try to copy. Okay, so we got this first blinking animation over here. Then I think this blinking animation should start somewhere around at 2 seconds, maybe like that. Okay, when this portion is gonna come at this point, let's bring this over here. Let's enable this. But there is one problem with this blink thing, that this linear wipe effect is, we can see over here as well. So I think what we need to do, let's make this 100 properly. At this point, let's make this 0 properly. And at this point, let's make this 100 again. Let's see whether we are still getting that effect. No, we are not. So we will get this proper blinking animation. Okay, let's bring those keyframe a little bit longer, like that. So we'll get a little bit slow animation. Okay, so this is one way, or another way of doing that is quite long. So but let's see whether this work or not. Let's delete this linear wipe effect, we don't need that. Okay, I'm going to select this and let's select this and hit Ctrl D, hit enter, and let's call it as mask. Similarly, select this eye, hit Ctrl D, hit enter, and let's call it as mask. And let's change the color of this one to red so we can understand that these are the mask. Over here, let's choose red and select this eyes, press F4, and we are going to choose alpha mask. Similarly, select this eyes, choose alpha mask. Now I'm going to select this mask and I'm gonna go and apply transform properties over here, like that, which is this one. So it will give you the extra values for the position animation. Okay, so what we can do is that I can create keyframe on the position property. Okay, so let's try to do that. Initially the position should be over here, so we cannot see any blinking. As it goes further, at this point I'll create one keyframe at position, hit U, go few frame forward, somewhere around 2. I'm going to create another keyframe, and at 20 I'm going to bring this downward like that. Okay, so if you see, we'll get something like that. So let's select those keyframe and we'll hit F9, like this. If you want, you can go around 3 seconds, Ctrl C, Ctrl V, and around 5 seconds as well, you can press Ctrl C, Ctrl V. Okay, and then you can copy this transform effect. You can go to the start, you can select this mask and hit Ctrl V over there. Okay, and make sure to select those position keyframe and let's try to select those position keyframes over here, and just like our previous layer, which is this one, let's try to move this over here, like that. Okay, you have to copy those keyframe hit Control C, go over here and hit Control V, go over here and hit Control V, like that, and hit U. Okay, so now if you see, along with this animation, we are gonna get that eye blinking animation as well. Okay, and press F4, select all of them and enable the motion blur. Okay, and now if you see this animation, we will get this animation, and then we will get this complete animation, and these kind of animations are gonna be completely in the form of loop. Now after that, select all of them and press Ctrl Shift C, and we will call it as animation, and press P for position, and let's try to bring this upward like that. So then hit Ctrl D, press S, unlink this, and let's make this -100. Then press P for position, and let's try to bring this portion over here like that. Okay, over here, this is gonna act like a reflection. So for that, what we can do, you can select this layer, press T for opacity, and let's decrease the opacity. Select this rectangle, and let's select the selection, and go to the mask properties and increase the mask feathers. Okay, and this is going to get act like a reflection. Okay, so we'll get something like this, and this animation is gonna be completely in the form of loop like that. Okay, over here, and press Ctrl Y to create one solid background, and let's add the background. And if you want, then you can apply gradient color as well. You can apply gradient ramp, double click to apply this effect, and with the help of this picker, pick up this color. With the help of this, you can pick up this color, you can swap this color as well. Okay, and you can choose a little bit of darker version over here, and you can swap this color as well. So you will get this kind of different results. Or instead of that, you can choose complete white color over here as well. Okay, so you will get different results. But I would recommend that instead of this complete, this, choose somewhere around like this color. This looks quite elegant and looking good to me. So yep, this is how you can create this kind of complex motion graphics inside of After Effects.